As I slid the zipper down the back of the red dress, it broke one night before the prom. She had just tried it on. I zipped her up. It was perfect, with every gather in place, every detail sitting just right. And just like that, days of work ruined. Or so I felt at the moment. This wasn't just any dress. It was my daughter's prom dress. She didn't ask questions because she trusted my vision. And I chose a design that had fluidity, graceful flow, and a luxurious, effortless look. It was bias cut on a 45-degree angle, falls softly and creates folds with elegance and grace. It had soft ruching across the bust and torso, little off-shoulder sleeves, a scarf tied at the hips of the fabric, and a train. She loved it. And now it was falling apart in my hands. The stores were closed, and she needed the dress by morning. I scrambled through my sewing notions and found one zipper. Red? Yes, but 3 inches too short. So I made a decision. I cut the back of the bodice lower to fit the zipper I had. It wasn't the original design, but it was the only way forward. I worked fast, ripping seams, reshaping, reinstalling, with anxiety sitting right beside me. However, sometimes there are things we cannot control. For example, the fabric I cut off from the back of the dress kept the front sitting where I wanted it. Once I changed the back, gravity took over. The neckline dropped, as did the sleeves, and suddenly the back sat far lower than I ever intended. In fact, the whole dress sat lower than I wanted it. I didn't like it, not for my teenage daughter, but she stood there completely unbothered. The dress was a hit, leaving me uncomfortable and my daughter beaming. With that, I learned something I will never forget. From that day on, I never buy one zipper for a project. I buy 2. Just make sure that the shades are different, that I can use them in another project. Sometimes I buy 3 because I know sewing will always test you, and preparation is part of the craft. The only thing we cannot replace is time. If time is the issue, you're done. If you love sewing, timeless fashion, creativity, and stories from a lifelong maker, you're in the right place. Subscribe to All My Ways Andrea for more sewing archives, inspiration, handmade style, and creative living. As always, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.